you teamed up with the government via government assistance, child support, legal filings, and they weaponized you against your own community and your own men.
This woman says if black men were around, many black women wouldn't need the government.
Have two, don't go having another one.
I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok, and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents.
3 months, nearly 300,000 black women left the U.S. labor force.
Mostly people who are on Section 8 is women with kids.
Y'all don't know how to take accountability for the choices that you made. You chose to have unprotected sex.
It's the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Women are not queens. You are paid government agents. You are empowered, but not in the way that you think. You teamed up with the government via government assistance, child support, legal filings, and they weaponized you against your own community and your own men. They sold you on being strong and independent, but really they just isolated you and set you up for further manipulation and failure. The system didn't for you. It actually programmed you to fight against your own, disrespect your men, and not respect your elders. You traded family for funding, and while you celebrated your freedom, your house just is slowly burning down, actually rapidly. Unfortunately, you're not raising children, you're actually programming them. Your daughters are repeating the same cycles as you, becoming baby mamas, involved in sugar daddy culture, whole culture, all of the above. And then your sons lack leadership, discipline, and self-control. So just no order at all, just all dysfunction, emotionality, and rage. You became the perfect weapon to inject the dysfunction right directly into your children, so they don't have to do it because you're doing it for them. But then you brag about your degrees and how you're the most educated and independent and strong and how you guys can take care of yourself, but your children can't read.
Real talk alert.
Can we make that make sense? And as long as you keep choosing the system over black men, you'll remain a non-player character, a program bot running down a government code, just raising the next generation of slaves. And this is why you lead in obesity, single motherhood, least likely to get married, least desirable, most likely to raise a criminal. It's because you're a product of the very system that you think you're outsmarting.
Stop that bomb buckle. When me tell them to say, yo, do the match there. Do that bomb buckle. Don't pussy.
A lot of single, and people ain't gonna like it, but a lot of single black women, their man is the government. The government is their man. So
I think it's a reaction.
It's going to be hard for an actual man when you've been incentivized monetarily to be single for a very long time. You've been given money to be single. And not only, we'll give your child money too. Don't worry about that. We'll give your child money. And so when it's time for a man to actually come in and say, hey, hang on a minute, here I am. It's like, yeah, but you're not the government. So the government has in turn become a lot of single black women's man.
I've worked in this field. This is my field.
Okay, go on.
So I can actually say that it is detrimental to the nuclear family.
Okay.
How the welfare system is built.
Fantastic.
I have women that tell me all the time, my man is kind of there, but I don't want him on the tenancy agreement because I won't be able to get the amount of universal credit, the amount of, working tax credit or, housing benefit if there is another person, adult age, in my household. And what that then does, when the woman makes a conscious decision to not put the father on the tenancy agreement, it automatically emasculates the man. Because he doesn't really belong anywhere. He's got no ownership over anything. And then it gives her too much power because she can kick him out whenever she likes. So the breakdown of the family unit is hugely connected to the welfare system.
Right.
I knew it was coming, and it's an absolute lie. This woman says if black men were around, many black women wouldn't need the government. This is a stereotypical lie that has been told over and over and over again. This is not true. Black men take care of their children. The problem is you got Pookie and Ray Ray in the community that the black women think are hot and look good. And guess what? They're getting everybody in the neighborhood pregnant. Powder. In fact, only 19% of black men are responsible for all our children in this country. All of them. Okay? 54% of black men in this country are single, and have no children. You can get these statistics from blackdemographics.com, the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, and the Census Bureau. We got to stop with these absolute foolish tropes. Black women, stop letting Pookie and Ray Ray get you pregnant, period.
Blame it all on every man under the sun. This is what happens continuously. It's like clockwork. You know, when the clock hits 12 and everything is just flowing, it's like clockwork. That's how it's set up. But it's going to happen like that when you're giving something for free. Daddy government has dictated everything in a black home. And you ladies haven't realized it. Exactly like they explained in a video before this. When a black man is not supposed to be there, and you saw back in the days on certain shows, oh, get him out the house. The man is coming. What does that do? The man is not really there, because pretty soon you start thinking, I don't need him. So ladies, and you let me cook for a second, because a lot of people wonder why there's so many black single moms, because they're incentivized to be black single moms. But now that time is gone. And what's happened is, like he explained, Pookie and Ray Ray has been given light. And plus, they've been growing because of the black single moms. Now you have a community ruined. And who is to blame? They like to blame the black men, but how? When the black single moms are raising the Pookies, how you gonna blame the black man? You can't.
Black women are crashing out on the internet again. Now they're crashing out because they're like crashing out, crying on the internet, because now they're saying that the United States government is not set up to support single moms. So they are saying, black women are saying, and maybe some other women, and not all black women are saying that, crying, saying that the United States government is not set up to help single moms. It's not set up that way. So let's roll it back to like the 60s. Remember when the United States government was actually rewarding certain demographics of people to keep men out of their house? Remember? You know what I'm talking about. Y'all were getting food stamps, Medicaid, housing vouchers, and the only stipulation for eligibility was you couldn't be married and it couldn't be a black man or a man living in your house. You had to be single. And you guys were down for it. And I know this for a fact because my mom had a friend who was on welfare. The more children you had, the bigger your welfare check. You guys were good with that. You were just pumping out babies and on the government's tit. But now, because Trump is putting a kibosh on the eligibility requirements, you guys are crying, saying that the United States is not built to support single moms. When was being a single mom a thing?
My point exactly. Because who the cares about family? Bro, I told y'all the Democratic Party was anti-family. They did this years and years ago. LBJ made this happen years and years ago. But here's the crazy part. Why is it that the black women are always the ones that are first to destroy the family? And then y'all wonder why men, particularly black men, decide to put themselves first and started dating and marrying outside of our race. Bro, remember, the Democrats were the ones that signed welfare into law. And the first thing they did was advise the black woman in particular to get the men out of the home and settle for chump change instead. That was the start of the breakdown and the destruction of the black empire and the black family, period. Bringing the abortion clinics into highly black populated and minority populated neighborhoods was only the second step. Once again, the Democrats did that. But this is where it gets wicked. The white and Latino, the other races of the Democratic women, since Donald Trump won the election, they have been saying they're going to abstain from sexual relations with men. They're shaving their heads. Allegedly, they're choosing themselves, okay? But tell me, why am I seeing dozens of videos of black women telling other women to divorce their husbands or advising them to look up poisons to poison their husband?
It's an evil world we live in.
Like, and where are the black women that are gonna speak out against shit? Now, when I say where are the black women, I'm not talking about the women on the right side, the black women on the right side that already stand by their husband 10 toes down. We already know, yo, y'all good. We appreciate y'all. But where are the black women that are on the Democratic side, the left side, who have a little bit of integrity and a little bit of sense to come out and speak against this BS that's being spread and that's currently going viral on the internet? Like, there are literally women, black women, women that are telling other young girls and other women to divorce their husbands right now or murder them. Like, it's happening, and these videos are going viral. Like, y'all was just starting to get out of that hole. Y'all was just starting to get put on that pedestal. And once again, because of the government, y'all are going back down. The destruction of the black bloodline. All because of the black woman. I'm not even finna blame the government because on this one, because all the information is out there for you to see it for yourself. This is 100% being put, the blame is 100,000% being put on these black women. So for the good ones that I've already addressed earlier on in this video, we love you, we appreciate y'all. 10 toes down. Y'all will be the living generation to recreate this fuckery of a breed that we have going on right now. But yeah, do you, boo-boo? Kill or killing your husbands? That will land you exactly where you need to go. And divorcing your husbands? Be a single woman if you want. Whatever floats your boat, boo-boo. I'm just glad I'm just glad I chose me and did what I do, because this here is crazy.
Sad. And you all shout to the mountaintops, why do you blame us? Look, I'll tell you what happened to you young girls out there. You have no idea, or you don't understand what your aunties, grandma, talk to your grandma. Your grandma knows a lot about it. Your grandma, yes, grandmammy is the one who accepted this. Why have you grew up and saw no men in the home? Blamed the black man for that for years. It's not because of the man. A lot of times the men couldn't be there. And he said it perfect. No one else to blame but you. It's sad. It's actually sad. The sad music playing, I'm sitting there and listening, like, tears come to my eyes. Seriously. That's how sad this is.
Trump done cut them food stamps off. If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have two, don't go having another one. If you have one, don't go having two more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the scamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of.
A nerve. All right.
I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents.
All right, listen, absolute nerve.
If you're watching video and you can't send me nothing, asking you. Our government has been shut down for 3 days. And guess what? While this economy is crashing and the government is crashed, you will not be receiving your food stamps this month if you get them in the middle of the month. And you won't be receiving your SSI check or any type of check that you get from the government next month. Did y'all hear that? Like, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I just seen it on the news. So yeah, guys, you won't be able to get your food stamps until this shit get fixed with the government, or your checks. And they did say that even if we working, they might stop our checks and we might just get a lump sum for the money that's owed to us. Like, I don't know, y'all, how y'all feel about this?
Now, everything happening in this day and age, it's all pre-planned. They, make it seem like they're speaking to Elon Musk and the government office, and they're making some plans, but this was already planned. This is Manchurian. What do I mean? These guys like to deal in numbers and sequences. They like to play God. And so they operate how God does. God operates in numbers, in 13, 7. He operates in numbers. They operate the same way. 9/11, many other numbers. They operate sometimes around 666. It's wild. There's a reason why these shutdowns are happening. This was the plan all along. You should have never trusted the government. I know it's not you. I know it's not you ladies speaking right now. I know you're going through the pain. But you're going through the pain because you were taught by who? Grandma. Your mother. Taught by grandma. Your mother didn't know. Grandma knew. But maybe she didn't know. Maybe she heard, oh, all I know is Adam A. Adam A guy had them food stamps from ABTs. All she had to do was get a man out of the home. That's what you got to do. You got to do this, and that. And you know how word spreads in the female community, especially the female black community. House to house to house. Before you know it, you had a mindset that was set in America, in the ghetto. I've seen it firsthand. Like, I have family that's in the projects. Free living in the projects, which is a project. I don't want to go too deep.
Really struggle with giving women props, especially single moms, but we gotta let this narrative go that single moms are doing better than the dads based off of government assistance. You do know these government assistant programs require you to make less than a certain amount of money. You do understand every woman cannot get this. You do know that, right? So if you make over a certain amount of money, it's over. You're not getting food stamps. You're not getting government assistance. You're not getting daycare assistance. So you do know that this is not, if you're a mom, you automatically get this stuff. That's not how it works. Blows my mind that instead of men taking accountability and saying, you know what, dads could do better. Moms are amazing and they thrive because they got to. Instead of saying that, it's, y'all doing better because y'all get this and that. Well, what about the people who don't? What's the answer to that? What about the women who simply don't? They don't qualify. And to try to downplay women that do get help, you think women that's raising children and are making under a certain amount of money don't deserve help? So you telling me as a human being with this inflation, the way we live in, you don't want free help if you could get it? If you could get food stamps, if you as a human, forget kids, as a human being, if the government gave you food stamps, you wouldn't take it? The way y'all go crazy about stimulus checks or any free money that we get from the government just because of inflation and recession, when we get them stimulus checks, is the world not happy? So why y'all trying to downplay people that got to get government assistance like they don't deserve that because they raising several children? The father's not in the household. The father's not helping. And y'all try to downplay people who do need it. But then at the same time, you try to downplay women who can't get it, and y'all try to act like, oh, well, that's why you're doing better. No.
Country is committed to doing everything in its power to prevent Black women from generating wealth. In just 3 months, nearly 300,000 Black women left the U.S. labor force, and more than 518,000 Black women still haven't returned to the labor force since the pandemic began, leaving our real unemployment rate just above 10%. The article lists many causes, and I'm not going to go into details for all of them, but obviously the federal cuts. It also talks about the impact of the Big Beautiful Bill and student loans, and it talks about all of the DEI cuts. For decades, the public sector has served as a lifeline for Black women shut out of opportunity elsewhere in the economy. Black women make up over 12% of the federal workforce, almost double our share of the labor force overall. The roles not only offer pensions and benefits, but more equitable pay compared to the private sector. DEI job postings dropped by 43% between August 2022 and July 2024, as well as companies scaling back their mentorship programs, their inclusive hiring, and deprioritizing equity benchmarks. I really want to emphasize the importance of retention, because we always focus on hiring, but oftentimes these companies hire Black women and truly leave us for dead and do not give us the resources to be able to successfully navigate and successfully climb up the ladder within these companies. Even when Black women are able to break into these spaces, to break into these companies, the pipeline to highly compensated executive roles sheds us at every single step. This is Black women right here. Black women are among the most vulnerable to automation, with 21% working in jobs highly exposed to AI-driven distribution. Yet we hold just 3% of computing-related jobs. This is not just a mismatch. It's a structural exclusion from both the current economy and the next one. Black women tend to work in supportive roles, and you can see from this diagram that supportive roles have the highest risk of automation and also the lowest future job growth. And all of this is coming at a time where companies are eager to cut their workforces. There's a new mindset on how best to run a company. Companies are focusing on commanding millions of dollars in revenue with only a handful of employees. Many executives see large workforces as an impediment and not an asset. We're seeing this throughout industries. Companies are functioning with historically low number of employees. More than 51% of Black households with children are led by breadwinner mothers, many of whom are the sole source of income in their homes. When these women are pushed out of the workforce, entire families lose their economic foothold, threatening housing stability, consumer spending, and educational outcomes for children. These are not isolated setbacks, they are systemic losses. And this is a compounding problem, okay? Without these public sector jobs that come with pensions, without these private sector jobs that allow you the opportunity to tax advantage retirement accounts, we're not going to have people who are able to save for retirement. There already is a wealth gap within retirement itself. I made an entire video on it. And the people who have managed to save are having to reach into that savings in order to stay afloat. Last year, a record 4.8% of workers in 401k plans took a hardship distribution for financial emergencies, up from a pre-pandemic average of about 2%. Nearly 1/3 of people who leave jobs annually liquidate their 401ks, paying taxes and often penalties rather than keeping the money in retirement accounts. The article and the recent unemployment numbers are new, but this conversation is not new. We know that all of these things together impact and create the racial wealth gap. If you're interested, I have this linked on my page, The Economic Impact of Closing the Racial Wealth Gap, which is a 2019 study from McKinsey. The racial wealth gap is composed of so many systemic issues that there is not one solution or one answer to the problem. I always talk about how this has to be multifaceted because there are so many things that led to the creation of the racial wealth gap. If you're interested in more conversations like this, I have an entire playlist dedicated to the racial wealth gap, and I also have a link in my bio that has further readings and education. I love us for real. Thank y'all for tuning in. Okay, bye.
I'll talk about this with when I give consultations about working at home, right? And I talk about all jobs. Pretty soon, all jobs will be taken over by AI. And I know it's hard to believe. People see it as hard to believe, but every job out there in the market, whether you're working in a factory, they can't do it now, but within the next couple of years, They're going to figure out how to consolidate factory jobs, even doing customer service. Anything, as she said, that's a small role that you'll be replacing or that they would need someone for, they won't need people for. It's going to happen. And they're going to have it set to where they may have one supervisor on call. They need to speak to a person, they get that supervisor. When that happens, you're going to have a hard time. We got a long, hard road ahead, guys.
Bad for people who on Section 8 and on any government assistance. Trump said no more. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Like, I got kicked off of Section 8 2 years ago and just started paying regular rent. It's hard, but what about all these people who can barely pay this stuff? Project 25 calls for cuts for all government assistance programs, including SNAP, Medicaid, Section 8, housing assistance, VA benefits. And what's really breaking my heart, I don't care what nobody got to say, mostly people who are on Section 8 is women with kids. It's about to be so many homeless people now, y'all. And not to mention, my cousin just got a letter from her landlord 2 days ago stating that he's selling his whole apartment complex because it's no more Section 8. You cannot get comfortable with anything that's dealing with government assistance. Like, they could throw you off at any given time.
Talk about the reason why it's so many single black mothers is because most black women do not believe in abortions. That's the only reason why. That's the only reason why. The statistic that came out that said more than 42% of YT girls have had a abortion before the age of 18. Yeah. Because they mama will have them up there at that center before it opens and before the people come out there with them signs to go in there.
This lady has no clue. It's not because of that, because they were incentivized. Don't get me wrong. The most people that are on Section 8 are actually white people. But you have a lot of poor white people on it. And then you have a large number of black women on it. So that's why they're keeping their kids, because they get incentivized for keeping their children. It's deeper than you think, lady. Much deeper than you think.
First and foremost, this is how I know that you didn't listen, because I literally said in my video, don't come in my comment section talking about, oh my God, why are we always to blame, this, that, and the third? Because I genuinely don't give a okay? And on top of that, did I say black women? No, I said single mothers. But since we're talking about black women, let's talk about them. A lot of you black women are not kind women. Y'all are not respectful women. Y'all are not nurturing women. And a lot of you black women who had sons, right? You were not an open space for your son. You were not kind to your son. You resented your son because, yet again, y'all love to blame a man that wasn't even in the household. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are looking for a black woman who makes content that degrades, demeans, disrespects men, my content's not for you. Block me. Because I will never be talking to men for men. I am a woman and a black woman. So I will always be talking to women and black women. That's it. I don't give about what men are doing. I don't give about men taking accountability. That has nothing to do with me as a woman. I take accountability for my life, for how I move, right? The choices that I make, right? That is y'all's problem. Y'all don't know how to take accountability for the choices that you made. You chose to lay down with that man. You chose to have unprotected sex. You chose to have that baby, right? Those are your choices. Nobody else's choices but yours. You chose to ignore the red flags, right? All of that. And y'all want to be coddled so bad. Y'all want to be infants so bad. Y'all want all the grace in the world so bad, right? And it's done with me. I'm not giving y'all grace on stuff that y'all don't want to take accountability for. The part that you played, for the choices that you made as an adult, okay? And doing your best as a mother isn't you just making sure that you have a roof over their head, food in their belly, go to school, whatever the case may be. Doing your best is actually making sure that you are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically able to nurture your son to be the best human being possible that he can be. Whatever the looks like in your household, right? And unfortunately, a lot of you women can't do that because you haven't learned how to do that for yourself. This is why y'all have such a victim mindset. This is why y'all have this, you know, when y'all speak out of emotion because you're triggered. You don't speak out of healedness. You don't speak out of logic. None of that. When I knew I needed to get help because I was in a very dark space and I did not want to, you know, transfer any of that negativity onto my son, I went and got myself help. A lot of y'all don't want to look in the mirror and say, I am an individual. Because I had to say it. And saying it doesn't make you bad. Saying it actually makes you better. Because you are aware of who you are and what you can fix about yourself. A lot of y'all don't want to admit that you are not a good mother. A lot of y'all don't even want to admit that you didn't want to be a mother.
He's cooking out garbage.
But you chose to have that child because one, you thought that was going to keep the man around. Two, because you thought that was going to fix you, right? And this is exactly why there are some men out here who are like the type of men that y'all complain about so much. A lot of these unhealed men came from unhealed women. I want y'all to understand that. A man's first love is his mother. And if he didn't get the love, the nurturing, the compassion, the all the things that we as women should be giving to our sons, when they grow up, they don't even know the first thing to do when it comes to another woman, right? Everything I talk about in my videos are also things that I had to go through as well. Okay? I'm not just talking just to talk. I'm talking out of experience, out of knowledge, out of wisdom, out of understanding, out of healedness. Okay? And the difference between me and a lot of you black women is the fact that I can sit in the darkness with myself. I can look in the mirror with myself and tell myself, I need to fix this. I am not a good individual right now, right? I'm not the best mother right now, right? I have no problem saying that. I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect. But what I will do is be the best version of myself so that I am transferring positive and good energy to my son so that he is a good kid who turns into a good man. So I said what I said in my video. Y'all just hate the messenger, but y'all don't want to listen to the message. That's the problem with y'all.
You think a man can motivate a woman to do or be X, Y, Z?
Yes, and vice versa.
And vice versa.
Yes.
But what's missing from that calculus is, let's take it out of relationship. Basically, if you got the money and the credit rating to afford a Bentley, you're not going to go get a car you got to repair. And we've told women that men should accept men who go out here and work 60, 70, 80 hours, putting in the work in the field, in the office, in the studio, trying to get out here to separate themselves from the competition. I don't have time to come on and try to motivate you to take your ass to the gym when you know that's what I want in the first place.
Is coming.